Hey everyone, and welcome back to Grounds Family Farm. Today is all about the garden. Many of y'all have asked for an update on the seeds we planted. Well, this is round 2 of the seeds, and look how beautiful they look.
Yeah.
But the problem is we have a lot more work to do now because we had to do this a different way because we were tired of reseeding all the time. But we're fixing to get started potting these up, kind of explain what went on and what we did and how we're going to take care of these until we can get them in the garden. And if you stick around a little bit later, we've got a big surprise for you that you're really going to enjoy and want to see. So be sure to stick around for that. But we're going to get set up and get started potting these up. Okay, so this looks like a whole tray of plants, but this is what we actually did. It's actually 4 different rows. What we did is we seeded these in rows so that we can come back through later. We're going to pull them up, separate them, and pot them up into actual 6-packs, because whenever we were doing the individual trays with them or packs with them and they didn't come up, it was a lot of work. So this makes more work on the back end, but if they would have failed, then this would have been a lot better to have to redo. So we're fixing to get started potting these up. We're going to let them grow a little bit more. We'll kind of show you how we do our tomatoes to make it where they're strong, big, healthy plants so that they grow a lot of good tomatoes. So we are reusing these 6-packs because we like to reuse when we're able to.
Mm-hmm.
So one way we do this, like these where they're really strong plants, we can actually just kind of take them up. Well, no, they maybe have too many roots.
Oh.
But we'll take them out in a chunk, like a chunk of the row. So then we just gently take them and we're just going to separate the plant at the top and just kind of gently work out the roots. And then just drop them in a cell. Cells don't have any dirt in them right now. Because the thing with tomatoes is this whole stem, if it's got dirt around it, it's going to form more roots and give it a stronger root system. So that's what we like to do.
We want some good, healthy tomato plants too.
And these right here are Better Boy, which is one of our major producers. If you want to work on those, we'll pull out another set.
Okay.
But the Better Boy are one of our really good producers. A lot of people like the tomatoes because they're really big and nice. And so we'll probably do a whole tray of these.
Yeah.
Tray is in 36 plants.
Yeah, we may not. We definitely won't use all those plants.
No, that was the thing, is since it was older seed, we planted thick, and sometimes I'll even plant a couple per cell, and then if one of them happens to die off, then we still have one in there, but if they both do good, we'll just pinch one off.
Mm-hmm.
You need more?
I need one more.
So these are all tomatoes.
Oh, you just take that.
Yes.
Yep, every one of them.
Well, yeah, part of these are tomatillos, but
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember
the
how
back
we did
row is tomatillos on this tray.
Yeah, I was just so proud how well these did.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to do 6 trays for now. If you got something that's really small, don't worry about it because we got lots of good ones that we can just...
Okay, yeah, I've got one really tiny one here.
Then I wouldn't worry with it.
But these others look pretty good.
Yeah, like these like this, it didn't grow very good. It's because it was tight. We're just going to throw them out because they're not really that big of a deal. Here,
Just pick some of the stronger ones.
Yeah. Like I said, the little bitty ones I'm just tossing out because we have way too many, more than we're going to actually pot up since they did come up so well. Because we got 1, 2,
really
3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be our last tray. I need 2 more. Yeah.
Give you a whole group there.
I'll put that, but I'm going to put another one in with it because there are some really good strong ones here.
Yeah. Well, like, look at that one.
Yeah.
It's got a super good strong root to it.
And then with those, we'll just kind of pack them away. And if you ever pull off too many, you can always just pack them away, put a little bit more dirt there. And they'll hold in this tray for a little bit longer, but they're getting about to their extent. Yeah. So once we have them in like that, what we're going to kind of do is just kind of hold it where the plant is centered in the middle. Oops. And start putting dirt around it to make it stand up. It doesn't matter if they're in the middle because they can grow down the side and still work. But if you want symmetrical, if you were going to sell them or something, you'd probably want to try to keep it in the middle so everything just looks symmetrical. But we don't care right now. Plus, it allows roots to grow all the way around it. And what we do once we get those in, we'll water them in real good afterwards so that the dirt packs around them real good.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, in another week or so, these things will be
Coming up like crazy.
really growing. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about this is it's more work, but the way they just kept dying or not coming up on us, I was like, that's a lot of dirt we're going through and having to redo. And
Yeah.
I was like, at least this way, if it's a failure, it'll be easier, but it wasn't, so now it's harder.
Yeah. We needed a win, though. Big time.
Yeah, this is the way we always used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just trying to do it in individual cells.
Just to make it easy, but that's not always.
Sometimes it don't always work out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these we may not do a whole tray of. Just so that we can get some of all of them potted up.
Yeah.
But, like I said, Better Boy's a pretty good one, so we'll start out with it a full tray.
Yeah, and we did not do near as many varieties as we normally do.
We still did a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot more than what we, I think, maybe originally intended, but...
Yeah, but it was old seed and we were just trying to push through it, so...
Yeah, and see what was going to actually come up and what wasn't. Because you don't really know with this old seed.
No. And then the other thing is if we plant these, we water them in, we see they need some more dirt, we can always put some more on top. Not a huge deal. Because like I said, this will put a little bit of shock on them doing this, but like I said, they'll bounce back.
Yeah, pretty quick too, probably.
Hopefully.
They should.
Okay, so here's one tray. Like I said, we'll show you what they look like after they have a chance to grow. I'll probably just go ahead and pull out this label for this since it's got one on the other end.
Yeah.
And since this is the whole tray, we're just going to put one label in it.
That works. Then we don't have to write more labels either.
Yep. And since it's plenty warm,
we'll
just stick this over here because we're not worried about the temperature.
Yeah,
the brooders.
The brooders are not on now because it has gotten so warm, so thank goodness or we'd be burning up in here.
It's pretty warm as it is.
Yeah. Alright, so our next ones are beef steak.
Beef steak.
These are always really good for us too. Well, these are some really good tall plants.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
These were planted a little bit thinner, I think, is part of it.
Okay.
Because I had less of these than the other, and so the Better Boy, I really stacked them in there.
Yeah, it seemed like we had a ton of Better Boy seed. I think we still have Better Boy seed.
Probably.
Yeah, these are going crazy.
Yeah, and we also brought out, if we need it, a plastic fork, because you can kind of use that to kind of separate them to pull them out too.
Yeah, so far I haven't needed it.
I'm talking about to get them out of here.
Oh, okay.
Because we're fixing to run past where the Better Boys stop.
Because it is seeded thinner, yeah.
Yeah. And these others, there's 3 different kinds through here, so
okay.
We may have to change things up a little. Some of these could just about go in the ground if they would.
I know, this variety especially.
But the ground is saturated right now from the rain we had.
Yeah, because we had a little storm the other night. It wasn't near as bad as what they'd hyped it up to be.
We had a tornado warning go right over our house.
But yeah, we did have a tornado warning go past us.
But it actually had stopped or went south of us a little bit. But I don't think it ever touched down here.
No, it did not.
It was just a radar indicator. But it did form a tornado farther east of us.
Yeah.
So
that was not cool, but
no.
We were having to sit and watch the weather for a long time. It was on Easter Sunday, actually. We had to hunt Easter eggs before he got off work because
storms were coming.
And we didn't want him to have to miss getting to hunt eggs. So the girls and I had a little Easter egg hunt by ourselves.
Okay, these next ones are chocolate cherry, so they're going to be smaller anyhow.
And we don't necessarily need a whole tray of those.
No.
I like cherry tomatoes, but there is a point where you have too many cherry tomatoes.
I'm trying to figure out
how many 6-packs to do.
Yeah, because it's going to be right. I guess those would still be okay. Wonder if we should do 2
Just 2 little 6-packs.
of each kind.
Yeah, probably.
Because there's 3 different kind. Now these super sweets or whatever. Yeah, super sweets we may do a little bit more later.
Yeah, and they produce a lot.
But they're taller on that end, so we'll pull from that end this way.
Okay.
So, but yeah, these are a little. Did you use all those I gave you?
Yes.
Okay.
The last ones I put 2 in just because
That's
they were
fine, yeah.
a
Just to
little
get rid of it.
smaller. And yeah. Abby wanted to go play, so.
Yeah, you can. We'll just need 1 chocolate cherry.
Okay. While there's daylight, if they want to play, I say have at it.
Yeah.
She was tired, and we don't really still want her getting really hot, because when she gets hot is when she starts complaining about her ear a little bit. And she's supposed to keep her activity level a little bit lower for just a few weeks. So when she needs to rest, she goes and rests.
Yep.
But we also had a full day today, so got to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm. They saw Minecraft.
They had been wanting to see Minecraft for a long time. So finally got to see it and lined up where he had days off where we could go.
Yellow pear is going to be the next
Yellow
one.
pear. Okay. But yeah, she had her follow up with her ENT today, and everything looked good. It was just her 1 week follow up. So, but he said that the plug looked really good and her incision looked really good. We don't have to keep a cotton ball in her ear anymore. But he said you probably want to at night because he still has antibiotic ointment in there that's going to drain. And he did give her some antibiotic drops, which she's a little nervous about using just because she's afraid they're going to hurt. But
those were expensive.
Oh my word.
$65, and that's with insurance.
With insurance.
Just like, what in the world? Because the pharmacist, he goes, these are kind of expensive. And then I was like, goodness me.
Yeah. If it fixes her ears, though, and we don't have
I guess I have to pull that up.
continuous issues, then...
Oh, yeah. Definitely worth it.
I mean, it's worth it.
It beats going back to surgery.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa.
I just was not...
I wasn't prepared for that
I can't
mentally.
remember the last time we had a medication that was $65 with our insurance.
Yeah, we have...
Because
truly blessed with good insurance.
One too.
Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine the name brand?
Yeah,
which they probably wouldn't have covered the name brand anyway as much, but we're blessed with very good insurance as far as that goes for prescriptions, and they work with us really well, but some things are just
sometimes you get surprised.
Yeah, that was one.
And I know that a lot of people are paying a lot more for medication than that, but like I said, that was just a shock for us.
Yeah.
So not to take away from that, we realized that there are people paying a lot more than that, but it was just, that's the most we've had to pay, and I can't tell you when.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of this tray for now.
Sun's starting to go down a little bit.
Let's see, these we have Big Beef, San Marzano, Jetstar, and Celebrity.
Okay.
So these will be a full tray.
Okay.
Each, maybe.
We can wait on labels for now then and see.
Huh?
I guess we can wait on labels for now.
Yeah, if it's a full tray, we won't need them.
You know, I may not be able to finish all these today.
Okay, we've got 2 extra packs, or space for 2 extra packs in that one tray, so we're gonna pot up a few marigolds to go with it because we do companion planting.
Mm-hmm.
These will help with the bugs and whatnot.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little darker, so we want to finish up what we've got going, but we'll have to pick this back up tomorrow because we just don't have time. The daylight.
Yeah.
the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, at least the roots kind of pulled off, but we'll see if they'll
Hmm.
pop back.
Marigolds are pretty hardy most of the time too.
Yeah, do this a different way though, I think.
I'm just holding mine up and then yeah, that probably would have been easier than what I'm doing.
Yeah, just for, because some of these are so short.
Mine are pretty tall, mostly.
And this might have worked for the tomatoes too.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't know, we'll see.
Like I said, I'm just holding the little stalk on mine and then putting dirt in until I get to that point and then filling in around it. Which works too, but it's also a little messier and takes longer.
Yeah, well, I'm done.
Yeah. Here's the labels for this.
Yeah, that wasn't as big of a deal because I know marigolds.
Yeah. Just figured if we're going to label some, we could label them. Okay. Well, we are going to pick this back up probably tomorrow. That way we can go check on the animals, and we've got a goat hollering and it may be puppy stuck in the fence again. So
Always.
yeah, gotta take care of that. We may be having to come up with a creative solution to keep her out of that fence if she doesn't quit.
No doubt. Okay, so we're back at it again, but we decided to try another method to see if it didn't work a little better because I'd kind of done it on one of the last trays we did. But we're going to try pre-filling with dirt and just poking a hole down the center of them with a marker and seeing if we can just kind of push them down and see if that will work.
Yeah, I was going pretty slowly, especially for me on that last round with the smaller ones. So
we'll see if this speeds it up.
That'd be nice.
Gotta be careful right here on this edge because I got it hanging over.
It is very toasty in here.
Yes. Okay, so the next thing we're working on is Jetstar. And then with this, I don't know how you're doing it, but the way I plan on doing it is just, I'm going to start right here, just stick it down in there and kind of
like with the
pushing it down.
Strawberry planter thing that we used to use.
Just got to be careful not to break the roots, but they're pretty pliable right now since they're good and moist.
Mm-hmm. Some of these have some really big ones. Like, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these are really big plants, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works pretty good. And these really big ones. How's our other stuff looking? Because I haven't looked at it today.
I mean, it's still all green.
That's good. That's what we want. It may actually be easier for me to use my finger to do that.
Next year, we won't waste near as much seed unless we have a bunch of old seed still, and then we'll just probably still do it the same way because we wasn't sure how it was going to come up.
Mm-hmm. But
these actually did really well.
I'm really thankful for that. We don't have near as much old seed now after replanting. No.
Still too much, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just steal this label here, and one tray done. I think that was quite a bit faster.
I think so, too. So that was big beef.
Yep, I think that's all the tomato varieties.
Yay.
So we'll move on to something else. We'll still do more of these later, but we want some of everything going first.
Yeah.
These will probably be a little easier because they won't go quite as deep. Okay, we're going to start with Bell.
Okay. Are we doing a whole tray of these? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'll need to do one more tray to finish up with the peppers. Because I think that's all. There may be another. I don't know. We'll just have to look and see how it goes. There's you some.
look at those roots.
I know. These are the banana, sweet
Okay.
banana.
Which bananas like never fail. Seems
you
like.
just jinxed them.
But I mean, even the years that we've had terrible time with anything else, we can grow banana peppers and hot peppers. Hot peppers always.
Pretty much it's just
thrive.
peppers.
Except
peppers. Yeah, bells are hit or miss.
We've been better on bells for the last little bit though, so I'm hoping that stays true this time too. Another variety done.
Yeah, we'll run out of room. Cubanelle.
I think those are sweet peppers too.
I think so too. I think cayenne was the only thing that was hot in here. That's the last row.
Yeah, because I don't really know about Cubanelle. Because I don't think they...
It's a pepper.
Yeah. I just don't remember them. I know we planted them before.
What you doing is...
Hey, sis.
Got you some shades on this time, huh?
What?
Did you have those shades on earlier?
No.
You like peppers is? Huh?
No.
These are sweet
What?
peppers.
Sweet peppers?
But you liked sweet peppers.
Like banana peppers?
You were always wanting those peppers, I thought. Those little
ones that are...
eating peppers, the colorful ones.
that we get at Sam's sometimes.
Yeah, I like those, but I don't like spicy.
Yeah, these are not spicy. These are sweet.
You got enough for?
Yeah.
So I got a couple of decent ones right there if you want those. We got a good little start of them.
Mm-hmm. Be plenty to be able to make stuff out of. Goodness, it's hot.
So the last ones we have are cayenne peppers in this tray. We may have some other stuff in some other trays, but I think most of it's herbs, which we're going to pot up in a different kind of tray.
Yeah. It'll just be, since they're not going to be planted the same way, it's going to be easier.
Not planted the same way, plus we still have to build an herb bed.
Yep.
These look pretty good.
Oh, yeah, they do. You said cayennes?
Yes. Yeah, I want to make pepper sauce. Lots of it.
Yeah, because there's nothing like homemade hot pepper sauce. It takes quite a few peppers to make it, too.
Yeah.
It's one thing we figured out.
To pack those jars.
But it's really easy to make, too. The last stuff I made, I mean, that was one of the quickest things to do.
But lots of good videos for that in the future.
Yep. A lot of good how-tos. Because some of this stuff we have done before. And there's a few things I want to try that we haven't done before, so everybody will get to
learn together.
Everybody will get to see it. I've been watching and reading a lot on different things to can to be able to put up, and even like some quicker, easier like meal ideas and things that you can can part of it ahead of time and all that good stuff. So we're gonna see.
Be interesting.
We'll see how it works.
Yeah.
Small batch at first, so we don't ruin anything.
So that finished up our peppers. We still have a lot of stuff to get done, but while we work on that, we're going to take you out and let you see the neat surprise that we got out of the incubator, because boy, is there a bunch of them, and are they really cute. And whenever y'all get finished with that, we're going to bring you back, let you see what all we got potted up and how everything looks out here. So these are the chickens we were telling y'all about that hatched out. Whenever we got them, they were supposed to be separated. There was chocolates, and then there was blues, which can be blue, black, or splash, and then we had lavenders. I'm thinking maybe a few of these chocolates got mixed up because they don't all look like chocolates to me. So I'm hoping maybe on the eggs they just wrote the wrong thing, because I know when we went to the place, the chickens were separated in the pens, so I don't think there was any cross that way. I think maybe whenever they were collecting eggs, somebody might have wrote chocolate on it, and it was actually maybe the blues or something like that. Not real sure. We're just going to kind of wait and see how things go. But we had not the greatest hatch in the world. We figured we would have better. There were several of the chocolates that were actually not fertile. They didn't develop at all, and then there was a few that just never hatched out. They developed chicks, and then it just didn't happen. But that may have been a little bit on us. We may have had the humidity a little bit high on them. We had some comments on the last one that said our humidity is too low, so we decided to take some advice and raise it up a little bit, but that was a bad idea. So we're probably on the future ones just going to leave it alone. If we have somebody that needs a little bit of help, we may do that. We just have to see how it goes. But these are the chocolates. Like I said, we'll just have to kind of see what they grow into. But the ones that are out are pretty healthy.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is trying to take care of these feeders and waters. We just cleaned those out this morning, and it's just been, well, it hasn't even been 10 hours yet, and they're going to need it again. So that's like a 2 or 3 time a day job. But we found these on Tractor Supply on sale. Really cute little sets, and they work out really well because in these tubs they give the chickens a lot of room to still move around.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we're having to fill them up. Part of them we're having to fill up once a day and part of them twice a day, but we're having to clean them out multiple times a day. But we just knock the shavings out of the bottom, and then they have fresh water again. And the feed usually lasts for a couple of days. So but it was really neat to find these. We found some other ones at first, just the regular red and like opaque ones, but they were actually going to be like $8 a piece for a set, and these end up being $6 a set. So
and they're fun colors.
Yeah, really good deal.
Yeah.
So now we'll take you over and let you see what the blues look like. So these are the ones that were labeled blues, which was a blue rooster over blue hens, which means you can either get black, blue, or splash. And I'm guessing, I mean, we know these are the black ones. It's kind of hard to tell with the red lights. The color's a little messed up.
Yeah.
These are going to be the blues. And I don't know if this is a splash or if that's just, I don't really know what that is, but it just looks crazy.
It's cute, though.
But we've got a few like that. So I'm wondering if those are going to turn into the splash.
Probably.
Yeah.
Really
but then the other thing is you got these lighter ones. Maybe these are the splash. Well, I think these are, because I think I see some little black specks in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what those are. So maybe we did get ripped off on our eggs. Who knows?
Don't know. They're really cute and really healthy, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Because we really wanted to get purebred stuff so that we could actually know that it was legit, what it was. That way we could sell it as that. But if it turns out that these are all messed up, then what we may end up doing is getting a new batch sometime and starting over and having these for egg production or sell as barnyard mix.
Yep.
Or I guess Orpington mix.
Yeah.
Because they're all supposed to be Orpingtons, but I don't know. I don't know enough about these to know if the colors are actually messed up or if this is just the way they're supposed to look. So we're just going to kind of keep an eye on them as they grow and see how that is. But like, this is what I'm talking about, the water. Like, it's just shavings, and then we'll probably end up cleaning this out later because it's got a little bit of feed and stuff in it where they've gone over here and got a drink after eating. They're just kind of messy at this age, but these tubs work out. These are like livestock water tubs. They work out really well for them at this age because they got a lot of room to move around, and with these little bitty feeders and waters in there, it doesn't take up a lot of space. And we've got it where the heat lamp is kind of over two different tubs. It splits the middle. That way they have warm areas, and they got places where they can get out of the heat too, because inside the shed right now it's like 92 or 93 degrees. So pretty toasty, but at night it cools down some. So the heat lamps, they use them more so at night than in the daytime.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about cats in here or anything like that, so they can be in here and be safe, and we can leave them uncovered. So
So now we're going to show you the next batch. And so these are actually Izzy's chickens, so she's going to tell you about them.
These are my lavender Orpingtons. They're adorable. And yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to buy some chickens of her own. Both girls actually did, but we'll get to Abby in a few minutes. But she looked at all the different types and specifically settled on lavenders.
Yep, so she's got lavender Orpington. She ended up, what'd you have, 8 hatch out of 15? Yeah, 8 out of 15 hatch, so not the greatest, but it's working.
Yep, and they're very, very healthy little things.
This
Yeah.
is Moon.
That's Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is out here every day, multiple times a day, taking care of her babies and playing with them and everything. So
Yes.
these should be friendly chicks. Moonlight. Oh, okay. How do you tell them apart?
I just know.
You just know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she checks on their water and food faithfully. And the others too. Both girls are so good about coming out here and checking
And
on.
sometimes if you put your hand in here, they'll pick it.
Oh, that's cute. Both girls are really good about checking on all the feed and water for all of the chicks out here.
Yeah.
Really impressed with how good they're doing with them.
So that's Izzy's, and now we're fixing to move over to Abby. Okay, so these are Abby's chickens and a few of mine. We had to kind of mix them up to keep them separate, but I had some lavenders too, and so we wouldn't get them confused. We put them in with Abby's chickens. So
Yep.
Abby's going to tell you about hers.
So we have like a mix here. We have Daddy's, mine, and then mine. We have, so these are neck and necks, but
Turkins.
Turkins.
Some of them are neck and neck, some of them aren't.
Yeah. Let me show you a neck and neck one. This is one.
Yep, look at that little neck.
Those are the ugliest chickens I've ever seen, but Abby loves them.
I don't know why.
She
I
has
just
wanted
love
naked
them.
necks for about a year now. And where's Bosco? Oh, he's right here.
Bosco. Come here, Bosco. Bosco
Remember Bosco?
is a Riki Tiki.
Kiki Riki.
Kiki Riki.
He is really growing and getting some attitude on him. He's like the boss of the pen.
He really is.
Like anytime, whenever we introduced the others, he had to go show that he was the boss, even though he's the smallest thing in there.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. Oh, wow.
Which this tub was one that we had. It's a little smaller, so we're going to have to move some stuff around, but it's what we had at the time, and so we just had to use it because we didn't have enough big water tubs.
Yep.
So we'll be upgrading them to a bigger pen soon.
Yep.
And this is Pepper, Bosco's best buddy.
Pepper was one of our barnyard mix.
hatches.
Yeah, he or she, we don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, but
It became Bosco's buddy before Bosco had more buddies because the first one we had in there with him got way bigger than him, and we were afraid that he might start picking on him. So whenever we had a new hatch, we just swapped them out.
Yeah, and turns out that Bosco just rules the roost and doesn't matter how tiny he is. So
I love
it's
him.
all good anyway.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell he's starting to develop some feathers there. Look at those wings.
So
Yeah,
beautiful.
hopefully soon we'll have him in a different spot where the color will be a little better, but we've got red heat lamps, and so it's just not real great color in here on camera.
Yeah.
But they'll be getting upgraded to a pen where they'll need less heat pretty soon, and once they do that, they should have good color for you to see what's really going on with them.
And one thing that we did to differentiate waters and feeders for the girls, which Abby has a different kind of water or feeder over there. It's got strawberries on it instead of this confetti. But the girls have these kind of peachy colored bottles.
Yeah.
And we have the blue ones on ours. And that's how they can tell them apart and know which is which.
The reason why I got the strawberries is because, like, I love strawberries.
Yep, Abby loves strawberries.
And Bosco tried to eat, like, he was pecking at the part, not the food, just as, like, the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's silly.
Guess he's going to want a strawberry when he's older.
But yeah, all these little babies are doing so good.
Look at all these plants. We got a lot done this afternoon.
Yep. In a really short time, too.
Yeah, some of these look a little bit droopy, but they'll have a little bit of transplant shock, but with a little bit of water, they should bounce back pretty good.
Yep.
Over here, a lot of these are our herbs. We planted a lot of different medicinal herbs this time and some cooking herbs.
Yep.
We've got some marigolds over here for companion planting. Some of our peppers are over here as well.
Yep. Everything was looking, I mean,
The
it looked
dill,
really nice when we put it in,
yeah,
but
the dill's looking pretty rough, but like I said, I think it'll bounce back.
Yep.
And then over here we have peppers. We've got some herbs on this back row over here. Tomatoes. The tomatillos are looking kind of scraggly, but hopefully they'll bounce
Yeah.
back too.
But
Then we
yeah.
have all this, and we still have in these trays over here. We still have some more that we can pot up later. So we've got quite a bit going. We'll see how that goes, and if anything doesn't make it, we can do that. And then I've got a lot of different cucumbers. I think some squash, maybe pumpkins and watermelons also, or maybe just watermelons. I know these are watermelons.
Yeah, part of the thought process on this is to kind of have it staggered a little bit, because we'll plant these now to get them started, go and put them in the ground, have an early jump on the season for that. But then we'll also go back and actually plant some in the ground later on too, some seed in the ground. So.
Yeah, the main thing with the watermelons, I was trying to get a jump where maybe we can have some for 4th of July.
Yeah, that would be
I don't know if it'll
awesome.
be that early, but definitely going to try. And I knew if I waited till we were able to get it in the ground that probably for sure wouldn't happen. But they're growing real nicely, and we'll just keep them watered, and then probably use some rabbit manure liquid on them to really make them jump and go, because it's really great fertilizer.
Are these our asparagus right here?
Yes.
That's the asparagus, and it's starting to grow up pretty good. So
yeah, it's going to need to go into the ground probably pretty soon so
Yeah.
it can do its thing.
But yeah, they're
I'm
looking
glad
nice.
they all came up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we've got going, and we're fixing to water them in, and then we need another break because
Yeah.
it's still toasty in here. We've got a little airflow, but it's still really hot.
And it's even overcast, but it's still pretty warm. So as you saw, we have been really busy and got a lot of stuff going on. Big plans for the garden, and this is just the start of it. We can't wait to show you what all we have planned with that, and we can't wait to show you all the neat things that happen with the chickens, because we're going to have a lot of new projects with them, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see if we can turn that into a little business over here and try to make some money. And Abby and Izzy are super excited about theirs, so we're just going to see how that turns out, and we can't wait to bring you along the journey with us. But we hope you enjoyed this one. We're going to get out of here because it is pretty toasty in here, but we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Peace. Bye.